What's up, everyone? In this tutorial, we're going to review the TwetchPay widget, which allows you to accept MoneyButton or RelayX payments through a simple payment UI, broadcast any type of script, and take any action after the payment executes. Let's get into it. Checking out Twetch's features page, we can view a simple implementation of the TwetchPay widget. If I click Pay to fund one of these features, you can see that the dialog pops up with a money button for me to swipe. Now, this is based on the wallet that I've chosen. So if I switch this to RelayX and go back to the features and click Pay, notice that a RelayX one button comes up. So I'll show how we can configure that when we set up our TwetchPay widget. Going out to the documentation at pay.twetch.com/docs, we can see it's very simple to start using this. So we just include this script tag in our HTML page, and then here's a basic JavaScript call of it. So we just do twetchpay.pay. The object is available on the window object of the browser, and it only has this asynchronous method pay. And it resolves a payment object, which is the same as the on payment in both the RelayX and the money button. And it returns undefined if the payment was canceled. So that's important because we do need to handle that case in case they close it, since it's asynchronous and we don't want the code to just continue if the user initializes the pay multiple times. We have our outputs that we can specify. So very simple stuff here too, which is a Bitcoin address, the amount, use the BSV unit, and arbitrary scripts, which is pretty powerful. And like I mentioned, we can pass an array of wallets, which is what was done in that features thing I just showed. So we could say if we want MoneyButton, RelayX, and VBox. VBox is out of scope for this tutorial. It's something that's new that's added that I have not played with. We have the on payment, on error. So here we have the money button props and the RelayX. So consult those different docs for what you can do with this. But for money button, say it's crypto operations, and RelayX has some other stuff. But I'll link to those in the description. And then these fields are more for the VBox implementation. So to review this, I just have a simple HTML page where you click to initialize the TwetchPay object. So let's get into the code here. So I include my script tag at the top, a simple button. Let's ignore these scripts for now. I'll get into those in a minute. And we just have our asynchronous function, show TwetchPay, and it takes these scripts. We added an event listener to the button to call this method. So here all the time we're going to have outputs that send just 1,000 Satoshis to my money button address. I'll get into those other ones as I mentioned. And then here we handle the response. So we say await and we make sure that this resolves so we can handle it. So here you can see that I only put in money button for the wallets. But once I add RelayX, then I come back here. Oops, I need to refresh. And you can see I get the option to choose. Now this is the default behavior. So if I omit wallets completely, I'll just comment it out and come here, refresh, then I get both by default. All right, so let me explain why this dialog keeps popping up when I hit close. So I mentioned that we need to handle the case that the response is undefined as it's stated in the documentation. So I just have an alert. So we don't get that every time. I'm going to comment that out. But like I mentioned, it's good practice to handle this case. All right, so I'm just going to demonstrate if we click this and refresh, so I stop getting that. If I click this and then I broadcast it, now it's going to wait a bit and then it's going to open up a tab with that transaction ID. So you can see I'm the Matterpool Block Explorer, and we can see it paid me 1,000 sats. Well, really I paid myself, so I only paid the mining fee. And that matches this transaction here, which is the same. All right, and we can do the same with RelayX. So I'll swipe, I'll load a bit, and then it opens the Block Explorer. All right, so let's close these. And now let's talk about what comes back to us in the payment. So A couple of things are standard. So notice this payment, which is the object that comes back to us. So TXID and raw TX you get regardless of which payment method. But if you want the custom ones that Relay and MoneyButton pass, you need to access this wallet response. So if we open up the console after we pay, we'll see these get logged. And notice how I'm normalizing getting the paymail and the pub key because those fields have different representations on the RelayX and the MoneyButton return objects. So let me open this up and we're just going to run one with Relay. Let me open up the console and let's refresh. So I'll swipe and notice how we get the paymail, our public key, TXID, and the raw TX. Now, if I do relay, I'm going to get the same output, at least the same normalized output that I'm interested in. So we can see we got our RelayX paymail, our public key, TXID, raw TX. So this is useful for handling the same payment action. You don't really care which wallet they paid with. It's both a Bitcoin transaction, but we can handle those in the exact same way. So obviously you would want to do more than handle just by writing them to the console. Maybe you want to do logins. Maybe you want to send them a paymail confirmation. You want to store them in a database, whatever. But this way you don't have to do two separate implementations. You can kind of normalize the response you get back. All right, now let's talk about these scripts. So we have a magic number script, which is a 21E8 mining job. So you can see that prefix here. So what this is going to do is take this hash, mine against it, and produce a hash of a signature, something like that, with a prefix of 21E8. So all this is going to do is request that job, right? We have a boost pal job, which is just going to kind of do the same thing, apply proof of work to an arbitrary hash. So these are kind of hard coded and I'll put those in the link. But if you guys want more information, you can check out the boost pal website or the pal.market site. And then I just have an op return script with op false op return and then a bitcom protocol prefix in hex and then testing in hex. And the reason I just wrote these and converted them manually is so I didn't have to include the heavy BSV library up here. But you can see that if I start including these scripts in my TwetchPay call, then they'll get added as outputs. So I can summon a boost job or a magic script or embed the op return output. So let's do it where we request the boost job. So I would just supply that boost pal script as the first parameter. And then let's refresh. Don't need this anymore. And then once this completes, the boost job URL will pop up. So let's do that. And I'll do it with RelayX. And I'll switch these just so you guys can see we get the same output regardless of what we swipe. And you can see this boost job is queued out here. And there's a bunch that I've been testing with that are still pending. All right. So the question is, can we do multiple? And well, yes, we can. So if I do the magic number script, I can embed both of those in a transaction. So let's refresh. So just to be clear there, I'm adding the magic number script and the boost pal script in different outputs. So let's refresh. Let's click this and then let's swipe with the money button this time. All right, and we should see this stuff open up. So we got a pending 21E8 job. We have a boost job. Notice that they're the same TXIDs up here. And then we have it open in the Matterpool. So you can see I'm paying to myself in MoneyButton. I have the boost pal job with 2,000 Satoshis, whoever can mine that. And then the 21E8 job with also 2,000 Satoshis, so whoever can mine that. And then this is just changed back to me. All right, so can we also do an op return script? And the answer is yes. So I'll just include that here. And because I specified it, it's going to push that output with a 0 amount and then the script. So let's come here, refresh, and click. Let's do a RelayX this time, and I'll swipe. We're gonna see lots of tabs open. So we have our 21E8 job request. We have our Boost Pal job request. Notice the TX ID is the same. And then on the Block Explorer, we have the same payment, the Boost Pal job, the 21E8 job, the out return output with my protocol prefix and just the testing and the first push data and then the change. All right, guys, that was it. I wanted to keep this one shorter. I hope that explains the power of this widget and how we can take the same action regardless of which wallet the user is paying with, and how as app devs we do not have to care about which wallet they're coming with, that we can take the same action in the app. We can decrease risk, do the same thing, and really open up our app to all the users within the Bitcoin space. All right, thanks guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Please let me know of any feedback in the comments.